Welcome to True Crime Capital. Step into the vibrant world of Jamaican dancehall music, where the beats pulse through the streets and the lyrics echo with raw emotion. In the heart of this electrifying realm stands a figure who transcended boundaries and redefined the genre with his controversial artistry and magnetic persona. Allow me to introduce you to Vybz Kartel, a name that reverberates through the annals of music history. From his meteoric rise to the pinnacle of success, to the tumultuous trials that forever altered his fate. Join me as we delve into the enigmatic story of a man who became one of the biggest dancehall artists to ever emerge from the sun-drenched island of Jamaica. Brace yourselves for a journey filled with triumph, musical rivalries, and murder. Get ready to unlock the secrets behind the rise and fall of Vybz Kartel. Born as Adidja Azim Palmer on January 7, 1976, in Kingston, Vybz Kartel is a prominent Jamaican DJ, singer-songwriter, and entrepreneur. Adidja initially attended Calabar High School in Kingston, but faced expulsion. Determined to pursue his education, he continued his studies at Tutorial College, a private school in Kingston, Jamaica. He successfully graduated with English, history, geography, and literature at CXC levels. From a young age, Adidja was exposed to a diverse range of music by his two musician uncles, who ignited his passion for the arts. Every weekend, he would eagerly listen to a wide array of genres on his uncle's old sound system, spanning from Sam Cooke to country and western ballads, as well as Ninja Man, who eventually became one of his musical rivals. At the age of 10, his favorite artists included Papa San, Charlie Chaplin, Will Smith, and KRS-One. Adidja would meticulously write down and memorize their lyrics, delighting his friends by performing them. Adidja decided to refine his skills and focus on winning over his local community in Waterford, before pursuing greater ambitions. To achieve this goal, he honed his craft by performing on neighborhood sound systems called Soul Signal and Electric Force during weekends. In 1993, Adidja, now in his mid-teens, recorded his first single, Love Fat Woman, under the name Addie Banton, for Alvin Reed's One Heart label. He chose this name as a tribute to his role model, Buju Banton. He went on to record several more tracks for local producers until 1996, when he, along with two friends, Mr. Lee and a singer named Escobar, formed a group. Inspired by a movie about Pablo Escobar and his notorious cartel, Adidja came up with the name for their trio, Vybz Kartel. Unfortunately, the group disbanded due to internal conflicts, leaving Adidja to pursue his musical journey independently. He decided to retain the group's name, replacing the C with a K in Kartel, and adopting the moniker Vybz Kartel. In 1998, Kartel made a significant appearance at the Champions in Action stage show in his hometown of Portmore. His performance received high praise, leading to opportunities in the music industry. Fellow artist Bounty Killer recognized his potential and hired Kartel as a songwriter. Some notable songs he wrote for Bounty Killer include High Grade Forever, Warlord Rule the World, and Gal Clown. Kartel's emergence as Bounty Killer's protege garnered public attention and propelled his career to new heights. Initially serving as a ghostwriter for artists like Bounty Killer and Elephant Man, as well as other members of the Scaredem crew, he eventually progressed to collaborations with Bounty Killer himself. Some of their notable collaborations include Gal Clown and Girls Like Mine on the Liquid Rhythm. Kartel then established his own presence with early hits like Gun Clown, Guns Like Mine on the Trafalgar Rhythm, Bad Man on the Panty Raid Rhythm, Bust Me Gun Like Nuttin', Most High on the Mexican Rhythm, and War Organizer on the Clapus Rhythm. He also had a series of successful collaborations with Wayne Marshall, including New Millennium on the Mad Ants Rhythm, Y on the Crazy Rhythm, and Y again on the Good to Go Rhythm. This extraordinary debut led to Vybz Kartel being crowned DJ of the Year at Stone Love's 30th anniversary in 2002, an achievement unmatched by any other new artist in dancehall history. In 2006, Vybz Kartel and Bounty Killer had a falling out after Vybz collaborated with Dangel, Bounty Killer's former girlfriend, on the song You Know Ya Baby Father. This caused a permanent rift between Vybz and Bounty Killer's group, The Alliance, ultimately leading to Idonia, who sided with Vybz and had his own issues with Alliance member Busy Signal, leaving the group as well. Idonia and Vybz Kartel later released the song Adi Ami Daddy together. Towards the end of 2006, Vybz Kartel officially left the Alliance due to tensions arising from his association with Beanie Man, Bounty Killer's longtime rival. This included Kartel attending Beenie Man's wedding to Dancehall. Vybz cited his departure as a desire to pursue his career as an independent artist. Reports indicated that Vybz and Bounty Killer performed together before the annual Sting show. Following Vybz's departure and his alliance with Beenie Man, a series of songs and diss tracks were released, creating a feud between Vybz Kartel and Mavado. The feud between Vybz Kartel and former collaborator Mavado became public in late 2006 after Vybz left the alliance. This led to a string of diss tracks from both artists, targeting each other and their respective associates, using popular dancehall rhythms. In 2008, Vybz Kartel launched Vybz Rum and the Daggerin line of condoms. This marked his first major endorsement with a beverage company. The distribution of Vybz Rum was planned to be handled by Vybz Distillers Limited, a subsidiary of the company behind Pimp Juice. Vybz Kartel's rum was released in Jamaica, and another liquor called Street Vibes. While Vybz Kartel is known for his provocative and confrontational lyrics, his later music reflected a shift towards more positive messages, emphasizing respect for women and mothers, and incorporating elements of Rastafarian teachings. His campaigns promoting condom use as a means of saving lives have been well received. His single, Mama, dominated the charts. Vybz Kartel became a father for the first time on April 18, 2003, when he was 27 years old. He has 3 children with his longtime girlfriend Tanisha Shorty Johnson and 6 more children from other relationships. Additionally, it was revealed on May 17, 2020, that Vybz Kartel's 15-year-old son was expecting a child with an 18-year-old woman, making Vybz a grandfather for the first time. On September 29, 2011, Vybz Kartel was arrested by police for cannabis possession. Subsequently, Jamaica's Major Investigation Task Force, MIT, charged him with the murder of Jamaican businessman Barrington Burton, as well as conspiracy and illegal possession of a firearm. During his arrest, the police discovered a small quantity of marijuana in the Kingston hotel room where Kartel was staying for the filming of his reality dating show called Teacha's Pet. The show, which premiered on Jamaica's CVM TV network on September 23rd, caused controversy due to its explicit content and drew criticism from its sponsor, Lime Telecommunications Company. While in prison in 2012, he co-wrote a book called The Voice of the Jamaican Ghetto, Incarcerated but Not Silenced, with business associate Michael Dawson, which was published. Although Kartel was granted bail for the Burton murder on March 23, 2012, for $3 million Jamaican dollars, he remained in prison due to a second murder charge. The second murder was of Clive "Lizard" Williams from Waterford, St. Catherine. Alongside 2 others, including Vanessa Gaza Slim Sadler, Kartel was also charged with perverting the course of justice, as Sadler had allegedly claimed that Williams had robbed her to mislead the police into believing he was still alive. Kartel's trial, initially scheduled for January 21, 2013, was postponed due to a lack of jurors and was rescheduled for July 11th. On July 24th, a jury found Kartel not guilty of the murder charge regarding Barrington Burton. However, he remained in custody, awaiting the verdict for the second murder case. His trial for the murder of Clive Williams began on November 18, 2013. Clive "Lizard" Williams was a 27-year-old Jamaican music producer and associate of dancehall singer Vybz Kartel. He was born in Kingston, Jamaica in 1984. Williams began his career in music as a producer, working with dancehall artists such as Kartel and Beenie Man. He was also a member of Kartel's Portmore Empire crew. During the trial, it was reported that Clive "Lizard" Williams' girlfriend received texts from him on August 16, 2011, indicating that he was on his way to Vybz's house with his friend Leonard Chow to confess to being responsible for the lost guns. Williams expressed fear and claimed he was shaking. Chow stated that they pleaded with Vybz in his living room, promising to repay him. During their plea, another individual named Kahira Jones held on to Williams while Chow briefly left the room. When Chow returned, he found Williams lying motionless on the floor, with Vybz's barber, Andre Madsus St. John, holding a building block. Lizard ran afoul of the popular DJ because he and Chow, another member of the entourage, were given 2 of Kartel's illegal guns, then failed to produce them when asked for their return. After several futile attempts to get the guns back, Lizard and Chow were summoned to Kartel's house, where there was a confrontation between them and Kartel's cronies. Chow managed to get away. Although Clive's body was never found, Kartel allegedly described the murder in text messages. One message claimed that Williams had been chopped up into pieces so small that his body would never be discovered. This text message was considered a key piece of evidence in the case. Williams's family never had the opportunity to mourn over a grave since his body remains missing to this day. Text messages, including the one previously mentioned, were found on Vybz's cell phone and played a crucial role in his conviction. Recordings of Vybz's voice were also leaked, containing incriminating statements such as references to killing and disposing of evidence. The prosecution presented damning evidence, including testimony from Leonard Chow, a star witness who was present during the murder. Chow stated that he witnessed the attack on Williams. Chow managed to escape by scaling a high metal gate and hailing a taxi. He also testified that the beatings and subsequent death were ordered by Kartel due to the missing firearms, referred to as shoes. Additional evidence was provided by police, handwriting experts, telecommunications executives, and investigators. Voice note recordings, video footage, and text messages were submitted as evidence by the prosecution. The defense argued that the trial was unfair, citing inconsistencies in Chow's testimony, tampering with evidence by the police, and the use of seized cellular phones to make unauthorized calls. Williams's sister tearfully testified in court, confirming the friendship between her brother and the accused men, and expressing the family's pain over not being able to give him a proper funeral. Kartel's sister, who was a vice principal at a secondary school, provided a character reference for her brother. Vybz Kartel himself, in an unsworn statement from the dock, maintained his innocence and requested that the image of Vybz Kartel be separated from his legal name, Adidja Palmer. In March 2014, Vybz Kartel, along with 3 other individuals, was found guilty of the murder of Clive Lizard Williams, which occurred in his residence in Havendale, a suburb north of Kingston, on August 16, 2011.
Thursday, March 13, 2014, the police instituted pedestrian and vehicular restrictions in downtown Kingston as hundreds of Vybz Kartel's fans gathered for a verdict. After 65 days of trial, delayed starts, 24 prosecution witnesses, and 6 for the defense, Justice Lennox Campbell turned over the matter to the 11-member jury at 3:45 p.m. Outside the courtroom, there was tension, and in Kartel's hometown too, in the Waterford community of Portmore they call Gaza City.
Yeah, sir, used to live. Yeah, it's a Kartel used to live. Right, yes, sir.
Yeah. Free world boss! Free world boss!
Citizens of Portmore, please clear the road.
Tell them I don't show them, I show them colors. People have to push out from you, especially people have to come out.
Them shall let go man, free world boss, man. That knows some people have a cry.
After 1 hour and 53 minutes, the jurors returned with a 10-1 verdict. With the verdict coming under 2 hours and divided at the same time, the judge sent them back to reconsider. Minutes later, they would re-emerge, again with a 10-1 verdict. Adidja Palmer, guilty. Sean Campbell, guilty. Kyra Jones, guilty. And Andre St. John, guilty. The 5th co-accused, Shane Williams, was found not guilty.
Judge Lennox Campbell's instructions to the jury explained the legal doctrine to be used in deciding Vybz Kartel's verdict, that of common design. After all, there was no direct evidence to prove that the DJ himself had participated in the murder. As Judge Campbell explained, the scope was to kill Clive Lloyd Williams for the loss of a firearm. The law of common design is, as long as you participate knowing that was the ultimate end, it doesn't matter that you didn't pull the trigger. It doesn't matter that you didn't wield the knife. It doesn't matter that you didn't administer the poison. Common design can encompass a person at a gate as lookout man for the police. As long as he's there to look out, he can be charged for murder. Kartel was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole after serving 35 years. The sentencing of Kartel and 3 other co-accused individuals concluded a record-breaking 65-day trial, the longest in Jamaican history. Additionally, Sean Campbell and Kyra Jones were also declared guilty and sentenced to a minimum of 25 years, while Andre St. John received a life sentence with the possibility of parole after serving 15 years. One defendant, Shane Williams, was acquitted of all charges. Despite being held on remand since 2011, the demand from radio stations and fans for new music has been so high that Vybz Kartel continued to record songs from his cell. Using his smartphone voice note feature, he released singles, which were later compiled into a 61-song album. If we're going to play an artist's music based on their personal lives, then a lot of artists' songs wouldn't be played, said DJ Sparks, who is a leading radio presenter in Jamaica. She says she plans to continue to play music from Vybz Kartel on her show for station Zip FM. His legacy will be a mixed one. He's been able to capture the imagination of many. He studies his audience carefully and gives them what he thinks they want. He's not only a good writer and lyricist, but he knows how to delve into the mindset of his audience. Jamaican prison officials have denied allowing him recording privileges, and Kartel has refused to state the exact source of the recordings, whose lyrical content includes current events. In 2016, while in prison, Kartel released his most internationally successful album, King of the Dancehall, which peaked at number 2 on the US Billboard reggae charts. The album included the single Fever, which topped various local music charts and became his most successful on streaming websites. Kartel reteamed with Kingston Story producer Dre Skull for the single Real Bad Gal in 2017. 2 of his 7 children have continued his musical legacy, as Jaheim, also known as Little Vybz, and Akil Rahim Palmer, also known as Little Addy, have been releasing music since 2014 as a duo known as PG-13, also known as Kartel Sons. In 2019, both were featured on the Fully Gaza Rhythm on separate songs, with Little Vybz teaming with Father Vybz on the title track Fully Gaza, while Little Addy performs solo on Dollar Sign, which interpolates portions of the chorus from his father's single of the same name, on the Good Life Rhythm from 2009. In January 2020, Kartel released a 10-track album, To Tanisha, which was dedicated to his ex-girlfriend and mother of his 3 children, Tanisha Johnson. They co-produced the album with their respective record labels, Short Boss Music and Vybz Kartel Music. On the 26th of June 2020, Kartel released his 15th studio album, Of Dons and Divas. He also appeared on Busta Rhymes' 2020 album, Extinction Level Event 2, The Wrath of God. During the summer of 2022, Vybz Kartel became engaged to Saidam Ozturk,
revealing he's met the queen of his heart.
Fox 5's Lisa Evers has an interview you won't see anywhere else.
Appeal reduced Kartel's parole eligibility from 35 years to 32 years and 6 months, citing Justice Campbell's failure to consider the time the singer had spent in jail while awaiting trial. February 2023, Vybz Kartel and his 3 co-convicts had their appeals against their murder convictions rejected by the United Kingdom-based Privy Council. The court refused their applications for leave to challenge the convictions, as well as extensions of time and the introduction of fresh evidence. The Privy Council stated that the grounds for appeal did not demonstrate a serious miscarriage of justice. The ruling, delivered on February 21st, means that Vybz Kartel, Adidja Palmer, Sean Storm, Sean Campbell, Kahira Jones, and Andre St. John will have to serve the prison terms imposed by the Jamaican court. The family of Clive Lizard Williams, the victim in Vybz Kartel's case, expressed their satisfaction with the dismissal of Kartel's appeal. They released a statement expressing their contentment with the court's verdict while still grieving the loss of their brother, son, and uncle. Recently, Vybz Kartel filed an application against the Jamaican government concerning his prolonged solitary confinement at the Tower Street Adult Correctional Facility as doctor. Kartel experienced protruding eyes, a swollen neck, and negative effects from the harsh conditions within his cell, according to his lawyer. An affidavit deposed by Leslie Campbell, the superintendent in charge of the Tower Street Adult Correctional Center, says that Kartel was placed in solitary confinement for that period because he was found in the first instance with a cell phone on May 19th and again on May 22nd. After being placed in solitary from May 22nd to May 30th, the restrictions were lifted, and since May 31st, Kartel has been enjoying the privileges of a guest of the state as other inmates, the superintendent said. In closing, Clive Lizard Williams was known to be a passionate dancehall fan, bringing an energetic and lively presence wherever he went. Those who knew him described him as a fun-loving individual who enjoyed life. He was recognized for his loyalty and was considered a devoted family man by his sister. His untimely and tragic death has left his family in a state of perpetual mourning, as they have been denied the opportunity to properly lay him to rest. Their grief is profound, and they continue to carry the weight of his loss. Do you identify with the Gaza movement? What are your thoughts on the rise and fall of one of Jamaica's most prominent dancehall artists? Please share your comments below, and let's reconvene here next week to delve into another captivating true crime case. Stay safe out there.